Pharrell is in the neighborhood, man. First off, Pharrell, we got to really say, man, welcome back to the neighborhood, man.
Welcome back.
It's a pleasure. And
Appreciate
you've been
it.
on like cloud 9,000 right now. But you've always been, Pharrell, one of those cats that work extremely hard.
Right.
If the box is right here, then you're thinking way over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do you, and it sounds so generic, like, oh, what's your staying power? What do you really think keeps Pharrell in our minds, wherever it's at, either on the dance floor, in our whatever devices? What keeps Pharrell living with us?
Okay. Well, there's two answers, and one answer is a small part of it, and the other answer is like the biggest part. So the small part is individuality and just appreciating like the way I think and the way I feel, and having, you know, letting that have some value and worth, and depending on that. So you know what? If everybody else is, you know, what is it, the 4 or 5? Y'all got like 29 million highways out here.
Yes, sir.
Right? Take a different route. If y'all got traffic there, isn't that what you guys do? You get off on the next exit and you go somewhere else. You rather sit in the traffic with a stoplight than to be on the 405 trapped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that like individuality is a wonderful thing. It's the reason why Drake is so good. It's the reason why Lord is so good. You know, it's the reason why, you know, the West Coast own Tyler the Creator and Our Future and Kendrick Lamar. Like these are all, like none of those guys sound alike, yet and still they're all out at the same time.
Right.
Doing their, you know, perspective things, right? So it's betting on yourself and betting on your difference and appreciating the rarity of how you think.
A lot of people, Pharrell, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
People
they want to
yeah, you know, like this
and
is
then you
working
get,
right
and then
now.
you get, and then you get trapped in that, you know what I
Right.
mean? And then you get camouflaged in that, and then you wonder why like nobody can't point you out in a mugshot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Wasn't the most positive example.
But you know what?
We got it.
But the analogy, I knew what you meant. to
made
that. You know what I'm
sense.
saying? Best
yeah,
believe that.
but they
because-
couldn't.
our
They
language.
couldn't point you out in
Right,
the
in a
wallpaper,
mugshot because
you know?
we killing the game, Jack. That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm
Nice
saying?
one,
Yeah.
nice one,
Hey,
nice
man,
one.
it's called recovery, bro.
And safe.
Hello. We got Pharrell in the.
But
Go
then
ahead,
there's a second one, which is much bigger, and that's the people.
Right.
Because if they don't support your song or they don't support your visual, then it's just a song in your head or a demo in your pocket or whatever. And that's where I give most of the praise and most of the attention to, because that's the biggest part of this mosaic. Like my song is just this piece, but man, everybody else's activity, like when you look at all them YouTube views or you look at like the spins or whatever, that's not me. Those are the people, and those are the program directors, you know, people like yourself.
Yes, sir.
That make those brave and gallant decisions to say, you know what? I know this song sounds like Mighty Clouds of Joy with Curtis Mayfield, but you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot.
Right.
And then,
And one thing with Happy also, man, we weren't looking for Happy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
we were in so many different, not in different places. We were in certain areas where we was like, okay, we doing this, we throwing our hands up. And
Turning
then
up.
when did you know, like, man, I'm going to steer everybody to the left and this record Happy? Did it feel big to you when you were recording it?
I know me and my wife drove around in the truck to it for like an hour on the highway when it was done, and we were like, yo, this is gonna be so cool
Dope.
for the movie.
Oh, so you thought like this would live
Yeah.
just with the
Despicable
movie?
Me.
Had
too.
no idea.
While we're watching it,
Had
it,
no
it pops
idea.
on.
I mean, come on, it's essentially it's a gospel record,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
But if I would have said that out loud and up front, then it just wouldn't have had no shot.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, man. You know, I'm thankful for the moment. The moment is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So, you know, I got to the lowest point of and shout to Chris Meledandri and Illumination, the animation house, because they're the ones that gave me this opportunity again on the second movie as well as the first. But you know, 9 different songs for that one pivotal moment in the film. And I kept thinking, like, how do I make Gru, like, if you know anything about the
Right.
film,
Yeah.
like, he's the evil protagonist, you know, who's dry humor, he's super funny, but he's always mad. Like, so how do I make a mad dude happy? So it's kind of like mad, happy, you know, just all these really bad directions. But the songs were good. I thought they were good, but it's got to work for the film. And it
Because
has
it was a soundtrack you were working on. This wasn't like I'm working on my album. Like it had to be married to that actual film we were watching.
It was written for Gru.
Right.
Walking down the street. I'll never forget the Temp music. It was walking on sunshine, well, and it's starting to feel good. I mean, was the Temp music, and I had to compete against them. They were like, oh yeah, so not only do we want Gru to be happy this time, who's always mad, it's called Despicable Me, right? It needs to be up tempo, and then we want it to be like super soulful. And I was like, okay, cool.
Did it feel hard or impossible?
Yeah, it did. And then, after 9 times no, sometimes we're close, but 9 times
Also,
no,
when you say 9 times, they were like, they were telling Pharrell this isn't it?
9 different songs.
Wow.
Some of them were good too.
Right.
Really?
But you know what it is? It's kind of like animation is like a meal, right? Certain things just don't go. You have you steak and eggs, or
Right.
later a steak and salad, but if steak and ice cream, it just doesn't go.
Right.
It might be interesting to you and for whatever reason, but it has to go along with what the director intends, what the producers intend, and what the animation house intends. Because if it goes left, then all of a sudden there's a snag, and then people get distracted, and then they're starting to analyze the film, and that's when the magic is ruined in an animation. It needs to visually stimulate you. It needs to auditorially stimulate you, so that the combination of both give you a third effect, which is a feeling. So if one thing's off, then you go, well, I don't really like this scene, or hey, you want some popcorn?
Yeah,
Or,
that can curve the
I mean?
movie too, though.
Whereas some movies is like, man, I wanted to get some popcorn, and it's over.
Right.
Because they just got you. And I had to learn that. So I got to my lowest point, and I was like, man, 9 times I bummed out.
Does it mess with your psyche, though?
Yes, totally. I was
Right.
so low. I was like, man, what am I going to do? They gave me this second opportunity after the first film did really well. They're projecting $1 billion. Like, how, what am I going to do? And then I asked myself one last time, and I said, how do you make a song about being so happy that even if you were a grumpy dude, you'd be relentlessly happy? And that's when I realized that the answer was sleeping in the question the whole time, happy. And so started with some chords, and then the rest was just kind of like, woo. But here's the funny thing. So after the song is done, they didn't like it at first. And I called the owner of the animation house and the supervisor, and I told those guys, listen to me, it's Friday. If you just do me a favor, when you drive home today, listen to it twice in a row. If you like it, call me on Monday. If you don't like it, don't call me, and I know I still got work to do. They called me on Monday, and they were like, listen, we love it.
Do they call you Monday morning, or is it just are you already getting up like,
Monday
man,
afternoon.
they're not even calling yet?
They were like, we love it. It's in, blah, 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 blah. It's the theme, blah, 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 right?
Man.
I'm like, wow, great. Movie comes out, go to radio, nothing.
Oh,
Because, it didn't sound like anything
did
on
you
radio.
think you had not a flop, but man, okay.
No, I wasn't worried about it because
Okay.
that's what I
Soundtrack,
expected.
yeah. Okay.
Remember, soundtracks don't traditionally do well.
Right.
So that was July 4th. It opened. It was the biggest opening for an animation ever. July 4th was Despicable Me 2. So we're proud of that. I'm thinking, yeah, man, this is going to go to radio and be good. They were like, man, what is this?
Right.
Everything was douche, 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 douche.
Yeah,
douche,
man.
douche,
That's why I
douche.
say it was in the moment.
You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, or it wasn't or turn up.
Right.
Vegetables, turn up.
Right.
None of that.
Hello.
It was none of that, which I love, by the way.
Right. Hell yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So July 4th, nothing, zero activity on the radio. You can go back and check it. We decided we're going to shoot a video that is mocking what Gru is doing in the film. We shoot the video November 21st. We put it out, and just like everything else,
Wait. What day?
November 21st.
So we're talking about July
Last
till
year.
November.
Yeah,
We were
flatline, nothing,
damn.
no heartbeat. Put the video out on November 21st.
It was down there the same day the release for DVD of Despicable Me. Like, man, we're almost here.
That is precisely why they did it.
Wow.
So they approved the budget to promote the DVD.
Wow.
For the video. So we do the video. And then before the year was out, we were like #1 on iTunes in Holland, France. I mean, it just started like going and going and going. We're like, yo, not again.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because, that's what happened with Blurred Lines. It broke overseas first.
Right.
Get Lucky broke overseas first.
Mm-hmm.
And, by the time it hit and it's weird. I call it the jet stream, because it'll happen in Holland, France, then the UK, then Australia, New Zealand, and then it curves down. Then you get South America, you get Africa, and then you get South America, and then it just curves up, goes through Canada, comes through like Buffalo, and then before you know it,
and then here we are with our late asses. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to go back and relearn the words and stuff. Like, man, wait, happy what? Oh, they come in with that now? All right, cool.
But let me tell you
Get
something.
the lyric sheet.
I'm very thankful, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
I'm
like,
thankful.
All things in the right time, and listen, I'll never forget the first time they told me that they played it here on the radio station.
Oh, man. Man, yeah,
Oh,
and it was, and we also did our own video, also, man. Like everybody was doing videos, so we had to go out and like B.O.B. was in our video, like everybody. We just grabbed people and we shot it up. We didn't want to shoot it to you because we didn't know what your copyrights were and if you was going to trip. so
we didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, there was one time we had a picture of you in there. We was like, let's take them out. You know what I'm saying? We got Pharrell in the neighborhood, Big Boy's neighborhood.
Timberland, best then, better now. Available at Robert Wayne Footwear.